Mr. Niklas Pedde. It's an honor. How you doing, man?
Yes, very good. Thank you for having me on the podcast. I'm doing great. Just got back to Dubai like 2 days ago or something. And
Nice.
yeah, what about you?
Yeah, I can't complain. I'm literally in Helsinki. We're like literally like you're in a warm place. I'm like in the coldest place ever. Improvised studio here for myself, improvised studio a little bit for yourself. Yeah, we just talked about it offline as well. Crazy. You are a German who made it big online. You make it a ton of money. You moved to Dubai. One thing that I wanted to ask you right away is like, what do you actually think about living in Dubai?
Yeah. Yeah, I love it. Like for me, it's great, right? Not the whole year. So I couldn't probably stay here like 12 months of the year. But for half of the year, it's perfect. I do travel a lot. Was like in 13 countries in the last year or so. But like moving to Dubai was, I think, one of the best decisions I ever made
No
because
way.
I came here pretty early when I was like 18 years old and moved out of my hometown and had to take a responsibility over my own life, right? So yeah, I helped to grow as a person a lot, got to know a lot of great people here, and yeah,
Wait, okay, let's backtrack. So, how old are you now? 22, 21,
23.
23. Okay, so you moved straight out of your hometown, like a small village in Germany, to Dubai. There was nothing in between.
In between 6 months of Australia. So I did like business and travel in Australia after school, and then
Yeah.
directly to Dubai. Yes.
Damn. Damn. Because for me, it's kind of different. Like I moved first from my 5,000 people cow town in Austria to Vienna, lived there for a while, then lived in LA. But like that's a pretty stark contrast. What do you like most about Dubai? What do you like the least about Dubai?
Let's start with what I like the least. So probably like nature is missing here. You do have the sea,
Mm,
which is awesome.
mm.
Like I often go to the beach, take walks, answer WhatsApp from there, listen to podcasts and stuff.
The
Uh,
classic. Yeah.
uh, but yeah, like nature and like culture a little bit is missing. Dubai is like a pretty new city. Like you don't have this typical Europe and stuff. It's all modern towers, desert, and this and that. And what I like the most about Dubai, oh, good question. I think the network and the people here. Yeah,
Mm,
like there's a big German community
yeah.
of like entrepreneurs all into like advertising, social media and stuff.
Mm.
And yeah, it's cool.
I mean, I had exactly the same impression when I went to I went to Dubai for the first time earlier this year. I was just there for like 4 or 5 days. It's like
Yeah.
it's really epic. It's hyper modern, much more modern than I thought. But then also I'm like, okay, zero culture, kind of everything's too modern, you know. So we're like, where's the history? But
Yes.
at the same time, like you go to the gym and the guy doing deadlifts next to you is like an 8-figure business owner as well, and you're like, oh hey, what do you do? You know,
Yes.
very similar to that is by the way Cyprus. I've
Okay.
really noticed that, like, especially since the pandemic, Cyprus before 2020 was kind of like the secret tip. Like a lot of entrepreneurs would move there, and then since the pandemic, it's like getting bigger and bigger because a lot of people are like, listen, I'm making money online. Germany sucks. Austria suck. You know, it's not. It doesn't actually suck, but a lot of things about Germany and Austria suck. Like the
Yeah.
mentality, the weather, the taxes, and so on and so forth. And then a lot of people they're like, okay, look, but I don't want to move to Dubai, man. Like it's too hot, it's too crazy. But Cyprus is kind of like a nice in between. And now it's getting really to a point where you have so many opportunities for networking. There's so many other entrepreneurs there, so many online entrepreneurs, and everybody's crushing it. And it's not like it's like 60 degrees Celsius in summer outside, you know. So
Yeah. Yeah. I can imagine. I've never been to Cyprus,
hmm.
but yeah, like I've heard good things about it.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Where do you because you said like you don't spend all your time in Dubai, and you said you went to like 13 different countries last year.
Yeah.
So where else you going?
What was it? About a year ago, Cape Town was exactly this time last year. I think in December for 3 weeks, Cape Town.
Nice.
So have you been?
Nope, never.
Cape Town is awesome, man. I think
I
you will
hear.
like it. It's
So
good.
I hear. Everybody kind of
How?
tells me about it, but I'm like, isn't it like dangerous as hell? You know, I'm just like the idiot here who's uneducated.
No, it's not really dangerous. Of course, you have to take care. You shouldn't walk around with like a watch and stuff and just go into like random taxis or whatever.
Okay, that's
But
my
no.
that's my definition of dangerous. Like, yeah, that's already too dangerous. I like wearing my watches wherever the frick I go.
I was wearing watches too, but you know, you got to be like a little bit careful, right? Like
Yeah, yeah.
not in the wrong areas, let's
Okay.
say.
All right.
Yeah. But
That's
yeah,
funny.
Cape Town, after I was in Germany for Christmas with the family, then skiing for New Year's in
Nice.
Austria. I was on the Seychelles. We were in Thailand, Japan, Croatia,
When
Italy,
were you,
France.
when were you in Japan?
When?
Yeah.
What was it, like May or something? Or June? I think June.
Ah, I was there in May. That would have been so
Yeah,
funny. I was there for a whole month, April till May. Next time we should meet there, man. It's such a beautiful place, huh?
that's good. Where have you been in Japan? Just like one city or
Tokyo. So we really, I kind of did the same as I did on my Korea trip. I didn't just want to go there and live in a hotel for a week. I actually wanted to kind of experience a normal everyday life there. So we went there for a whole month. We got an Airbnb in the heart of Tokyo in Minato-ku, like the baller area, as we found out later. And then we went on one quick weekend trip to Kyoto.
got it? Yeah.
Yeah. What about you?
I've been in like 8 different cities
Oh
in
no,
Japan.
no hell,
Because a friend of mine, he's Japanese and his parents live there. So yeah, he showed us
perfect.
around. Yes.
Yeah, it's cool if you have a local. I have a client from Japan, so we were also like, hey, show us around. And I remember he was like, by the way, hold on a second now, Pellegrini.
Yes. No
You're
plastic
not
bottles.
you're not an online entrepreneur if you don't drink Pellegrino. So yeah, and my client's Japanese, so it's kind of like the same. Like you get to see all these epic places that otherwise you could never get to see if you're just a random tourist. I remember he would just bring me to like random sushi places that are like in a basement. You're like the
Yeah.
first European that they ever see. The menu is all Japanese, right? Like in sushi, so you never know what you're getting, and then they give you like the craziest like baby squids or whatever. I'm sure you've had a fair share of experiences like that as well.
Yeah. Yeah, but Japan was good.
Yeah, beautiful place. Croatia as well. They said, yeah, Croatia's super underrated. I think I've had some
It
of my
is.
best vacations there, honestly.
Yeah, for sure. Like favorite
Yeah.
spot for me was Hua in Croatia, and
Mm.
we stayed on a yacht for like 4 or 5 days, and that
Mm.
was that was insane. Yeah.
Damn. Here's the thing. You're 23. I'm 30. Jesus Christ. I'm 33. And you're at a really, really high level very early on. In fact, when I think back to when I was 23, I was just getting started as an unpaid assistant, right? And even for me, then, I made my first million at 26. And even for me, a lot of people say, wow, that was early. But for you, it's hell of a lot even earlier. There's so many questions I have to you about that. So number one, do you feel that sometimes your age is kind of like something that people judge you on, where you say like, hey, I might only be 23, but God damn it, look at what I do. Is it something that you have to overcome?
No, not really. Never in a negative way. It was always just in a positive way. So people were just always like surprised, and they were like, "Wow, you're 23? What? This is amazing." So it was never in like a negative way. No.
That's dope. That's freaking beautiful. Do you sometimes feel that things are going too fast?
No, not really, to be honest. No.
Okay. Yeah, I always ask that when I hang out with people that got very successful very early on. I'm like,
Yeah.
did your success feel like more it's an overnight thing, or did your success come from because you just grinded it out and it was a natural result of your actions?
Yeah. Yeah. So the thing is, for me, like it didn't happen overnight, right?
Yeah.
So I started when I was 15, which is now like 8 years ago,
Yeah.
right? Basically like 6, 7 years ago, I got into this digital space, online marketing, funnels, all this good stuff, and everything came step by step. And it wasn't like it exploded from one day to the another. I slowly went from 0 to 10K a month, 20K a month, 30K, 40K, 50K, 100K, 200, 300, 400, 500, right? Like I have clients of mine. One of them, his name is Phil. He literally went from zero, like making 30K a month last year, to over 3 million cash collected a month within 1 year. Like for him, it was like it exploded like crazy. And he went from 20.
What does he do?
Coaching. He coaches social media and
Nice.
specifically affiliate marketing. Yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah. That's a sexy offer right there. It's
Yeah,
crazy. It's crazy. You got into that when you were 15,
yes.
and it's funny because like I sometimes have people that come to us like they're closers and they're 19, and they're like, yeah, I've been closing for like 2 years already, and I'm like, when I was 19, I had no idea this world even existed, let alone with 15. I mean, when I was 15, all I did was listen to Metallica, watch The Simpsons, and play like PlayStation 2, I think back then. What was like what was like the factor that got you started when you were 15 years old? Like, was there an older brother or family members or something like that? Or how did you get into that?
No. So my family is like zero entrepreneurial at all. My dad works a normal job and stuff. But yeah, I was back in the days also playing a lot of video games, like literally all day long. My parents hated it, but yeah, like playing a lot and also watching all these like YouTubers and stuff. And then in 2015, the Volkswagen stock like dropped dramatically and had this big scandal and whatever. And one of the YouTubers was talking about it. And it was interesting for me. And I talked to my parents about it, like at the dinner table and our dinner. And my mom, like a week or two later, brought me a magazine about stocks. And then I got into it. And then, another couple of weeks later, I read the book Rich Dad Poor Dad, which my mom also brought me. And after that, it was game over. Like I read the book and I'm like, okay, shit, what am I doing here? School, 9-to-5 job, not an option anymore. I need to do something else. Yeah.
Man, shout out to your mom. That is so cool. Like she brings you the right books, that's freaking crazy. Like butterfly effect, like I'm sure your mom was like, oh, let's give the little Niklas some book. He's interested in that. Little did she know, the freaking 8 years later, you're crushing,
Yes. I guess for the first year or two, my mom was like, what did I do? Why did I give Niklas this book? Because like I was super good in school, right? And then the grades slowly stopped dropping with like arguments at home. And I was like, school is shit and I don't want to do it anymore. I don't want to go to university. No 9-to-5 job. I want to do my own thing. Like we had a lot of arguments at home. But yeah, like it was good.
Damn, that's epic. Okay, so you learn about stocks, you read Rich Dad Poor Dad, you're like, okay, the classic journey don't make sense. What's the first thing you build?
Yes. So I got into stocks. I had like 2,000 euros from working in like summer holiday jobs. I had the stock portfolio, and after 6 months, it was like up 2%. Nice. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, this is not working out, right? I was doing the math because after school, I wanted to travel through Australia. And I was like, hey, if I invest in this and that and whatever and get lucky, I make 100K and then but I figured out, hey, it doesn't work. So I searched for on YouTube how to make money fast on the stock market. And guess what showed up? Day trading, right? So I got into day trading and I found one guy. He was living here in Dubai, driving like a Lamborghini Aventador and this and that and whatever, showing his life, doing vlogs. And that really like inspired me. And then I got into this whole bubble of following entrepreneurs on social media, young ones, a little bit older ones, this and that, got into day trading. And then while day trading, I also realized, hey, I don't have enough money. With 2,000 euros, I can't really get ahead. I need more money. And that's when I started searching for ways how I can make money online. I took a look at all these people talking about dropshipping, e-commerce, Amazon FBA, network marketing, and this and that. But I, didn't know what business model to take. But then I dig deeper and ask myself, hey, what do all these people that I see on social media live this amazing life have in common, right? And at one point it clicked and I was like, hey, they are all doing the same thing. They have a following, they have a brand on social media, and they sell, I don't know, digital products, coaching, consulting, whatever. And I was like, okay, I have to build a following too, right? But I didn't want to show myself at that point. And then I got into like theme pages and stuff. And yeah, from there started my journey in this like Instagram space.
Yeah, that's so cool. I kind of realize the same. There's always parallels, right? I'm always trying to look at the parallels between successful people and then where's the difference. And a parallel was 100% that I'm like, okay, if I want to always be safe and always have income and always have the freedom that comes along with it, I need to be relevant. Like this idea of relevancy, first of all, it translates, of course, into social media nowadays. Like you cannot be relevant unless you have a certain representation of you on the internet. That was the one thing. And then the other thing was also like, and this was something that only clicked for me much, much later. I mean, one of my first mentors, Owen Cook, aka RSD Tyler, I remember him, rambling once about like, yes, we're teaching all these young guys right now. That was literally 10 years ago. And he's a dating coach, one of the best dating coaches, biggest dating coaches in the world. And he's like, yeah, listen, guys, we're teaching all these young guys how to get girls right now. But in 10 years from now, a lot of these guys are going to be 7- and 8-figure business owners. And that's where I then transition to business consulting, because these people will know me by then. These people will have huge amounts of, emotional bank account with me. They'll all trust me. They'll be grateful. And that's where you're going to get into business consulting. And I'm like, yeah, Tyler, old crazy man, 10 years from now, who knows, right? But, freaking 10 years is really fast. I mean, you probably don't know it yet because you're 23, but like from 23 to 33, it's going to go really, really fast. And it keeps getting faster. So 10 years later, it's exactly this. Like, it's so crazy. Like, so many people that I talk to right now, all these 8-figure business owners, and I talk to them, I reach out to them, I'm in their mastermind or they're in my mastermind, and they're like, oh, Max, like, I remember you from the dating advice stuff. Like, you guys used to help me out so much. Like, you guys helped me find my girlfriend. You guys helped me got married and so on and so forth. And I'm like, damn, Owen was right. He was right. It's so much about building an online presence and building relationships and really thinking long term. And, you know, I mean, sure, a lot of the clients that come to us, they say, hey, I don't want to do social media. You don't have to. In order to make 10, 20, 30K a month, you don't need any social media at all, depending on the niche. It could also be that you make over 100K a month without any social media presence. But in a vast majority of the cases, social media is like the business card, like the business card was like 20, 30 years ago. And if you don't have that, you're just missing out, because as long as people pay attention to you, people will want to buy from you. And that's freaking great.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Now, you know, you also mentioned Instagram. Is that the main channel that you're using to grow your business, or do you have other channels as well?
No, basically only Instagram. Yeah. We, of course, do email marketing and stuff. Started a little bit on YouTube. Now a month ago, we got into like paid ads, but no, like it's all Instagram.
Damn, so it's all organic that you've been building.
No, it's not organic. Influencer marketing, right?
Yeah.
So the theme pages are organic, but yeah, personal brand, all influencer marketing.
I still consider that relatively organic, because it's, I mean, because you're not paying Google or Meta any money. You're just keeping it on the down low with the other influencers, which is also what we're doing with the Max Tornow business account. We're doing organic / this, you know, influencer marketing, shout outs, paid shout outs, and so on and so forth. And it's crushing. Yeah. Have you ever, since, you know, you're kind of putting all your eggs in one basket with Instagram, have you ever had issues where your Instagram got deactivated, got banned, blocked, anything like that?
Yeah, sure. Like my account was, I think, down twice, but you know some people, and it's back up quite fast.
How did it get? Was it the classic scammer reaches out to you, says, hey, I'm gonna take your account down unless you wire me, whatever the fuck? Oh yeah.
So that was once, and then the second time was they rolled out the meta verification, I don't know, like 3 months ago or something. Actually, when I was in Japan, and I got the verification, then like a day later, the account was down, right? And then it got back up, and meta verification again down. So it was some issues with meta verification. A lot of people had it at that time, but yeah.
Damn. I remember the meta verification was kind of like a lifesaver for us, because I remember we don't rely fully on Instagram, but largely it's my favorite platform. It almost as much. YouTube is close. I like YouTube as well, but I kind of like Instagram better. It's just the ultimate platform for me personally. And I got the exact same message. I think for me it happened like 6 times.
Oh wow.
Yeah, just some guy, you know, with like a Bored Ape as this dumb profile picture. Hey, what's up? Somebody paid me to deactivate your account unless you pay me $1,000. La di da.
Next time you just have to change your profile picture to something like black without your face, and then they can't.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. That was kind of like also how we learned it, you know. And of course, at first I'm like, yeah, random scam thing. I'm not going to reply. Boom, it got deactivated. And I can't remember, how did we get it back first time? I think we just got it back because we you know, Instagram had this function where you can like request more info on why you got banned, and then, you know, that you have to upload like a picture with your passport and stuff like that. We instantly got it reactivated, and then we had peace for like 2-3 years, and then the same guy or a similar guy, we don't know if it was the same guy, reached out again, did the same spiel again, and then it happened to a client of mine, Bruno Barami, and he's like, shit, Max, what do I do? He sends me a screenshot, and I'm like, whatever you do not reply. And of course, him being cocky, he replies, because he's a sales coach. So he's like, oh, I can manage, you know, I can negotiate. So he replies, and then the guy literally says, oh, now that I see that you replied, I want even more money, right? So it says, now that I know I have your attention. So, you know, he kind of shot himself in the foot. And then what I did then is, that was before the verification thing happened, because that kind of like saved it. Because I think the way they do it is they just mass report it for impersonation. They basically impersonating yourself, and then you get mass reported for that, and so on and so forth. And that's also like how just change your profile picture to not showing your face. kind of fixed it. And then the other thing is, of course, the meta verification thing. I think it just, put a wrench in the wheel of all these scammers. And I don't think it can happen. It can work again, at least not the way they used to do it. And I remember it sucked. Like at some point I was off for like 3 or 4 weeks or something like that, because then Meta got really overwhelmed because apparently everybody had the same issue and then they couldn't handle it. And of course they have not enough people to handle it and so on and so forth. So, and I remember the last time I got that message again, and I reach out to our Meta contact and I'm like, screenshot, hey, I got this message again. Here's the screenshot. Mark my words, you guys will get a mass reported issue with my account, just letting you know ahead of time. Here's where it happened before. Here's the case of all the times it happened before. Here's the screenshot. And they're like, just, the stock answer, like, okay, we'll look into it. And then, of course, a day later, I got banned. And, of course, they couldn't remember anything. Oh, this is new. And I'm like, I told you a freaking day before. I gave you heads up. It's just such a frustrating experience.
Yes. Hopefully it doesn't happen again.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think it will, because like, again, like now we have the verification thingy, and that was kind of like really the lifesaver, I think, for a lot of people out there. But yeah. So I mean, it's cool. So that's like your main channel. So you basically do it all just over your network of influencers.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah. That's epic. It's epic. I could imagine that with that, it doesn't only help your business, but you probably also at some point meet some of the influencers in person, and you kind of like network for your personal life as well. Or how do you do that?
Yeah, for sure. Of course. Many of the people that I now do and business partners, I got to know them through Instagram, right? We're doing, I don't know, to give you an example, doing a project with Tai Lopez together now, right?
Yeah.
Without the personal brand, this probably would have never happened, right? Or we're doing a project together with Wealth and helping him with his social media and monetization. Wouldn't have happened without my personal brand, right? And so many of the friends that I also have and that I'm connected with, interviews I do, people I network with through the personal brand. You've been following each other for, I don't know, a year, 2 or 3, whatever. See the journey, and then one guy's in Dubai or I'm in Croatia and he's there. You meet up.
I mean, that's, it's funny. That's like one of the main reasons why I even have this podcast. It helps. It's really great business wise, but at the same time, like the main reason why I want to do is I just want to have an excuse to talk to cool people.
That's what podcasts are also good fun. True.
It's so good. And, I talked to Sergio and Xenios from Co-member 2-3 weeks ago, and they were like, yo, you should check out Niklas Pedde. He's a super awesome guy. And I'm like, it sounds really cool. And then I check your Instagram and I'm like, oh, you're following me. That's funny. So I followed you back. I'm like, hey, you want to be on my podcast? And you're like, hell yeah, let's do it. And it's just such a nobody says yes if you say, hey, can I invite you for dinner and ask you a bunch of questions? Most people are like, look, I'm busy, right? But if you say, hey, can I have you on my podcast and promote your stuff? Everybody's like, hell yeah, like, let's go. Like, I love a podcast. And it's really freaking great. And, in this regard also, like, I mean, you and I have talked before the podcast as well. And we're like, yo, what's your travel plans? Let's go meet up. Let's hang out. And that's literally like one of the best ways to meet like-minded people. You mentioned Tai Lopez, and so wasn't he in your mastermind or something like that?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we hosted an event this August in Cannes, and he was there like for 5 days, stayed with us in the villa. His family was also there. Yeah, it was good.
So how did all that happen? How did you meet him?
How did I meet Tai? So first of all, Tai, he was the first person or first mentor of mine. I bought his 67 Steps program back in like 2016 or something when I was day trading, and I had like a big loss in the day, and then I saw his ad and I was like, okay, let me get the 67 steps, right?
Yeah.
So, and then I met him first time in person backstage here in Dubai. There was an event, and at the end he was doing like a Q&A round and stuff, and there was like 20-30 people. And I was there with friends, and they were like, hey, Tai, thanks to your program, we're crushing it, doing 300K a month. And this guy also, he did $1 million in 45 days, right? And then we started talking with Tai, went backstage, even recorded a video, exchanged WhatsApps.
Nice.
Went in touch so much, but I sent him some updates, throughout the years on my entrepreneurial journey, achievements and this and that. And then I was, in contact with his sales rep for about a year. And, Tai was away from social media for quite a time. Yeah. And then he started doing like one-on-one mentorings again. And I basically booked it with Tai. We got in touch, started talking, and got along well, right? And part of the one-on-one mentoring deal was also that he is coming to Cannes for the mastermind. Initially, it was just like a 30-minute speaking slot. But yeah, we got along well. We're super nice to him, invited him, his family to the villa, picked him up from the airport and stuff. And he really enjoyed the time, and then spent with us the whole mastermind. And we were networking and talking and having fun and stuff until 4 or 5 a.m. in the night, eating pizza or sushi. So that was cool. Yeah.
Yeah, he's someone who loves to talk. I remember that I was once, when I was still an assistant of Owen, I had to go to Vegas the next day for I think some sort of seminar that I was supposed to do. And I'm like early in bed, I'm like, okay, flight, like it was not a flight. I had to take a freaking bus. That's how, how much of an assistant I was. I'm like, okay, go to bed. Like I get all the sleep, blah, blah, blah. And just before I pass out, I get a message by Owen. He's like, hey, we have to shoot some videos with Tai just real quick. And I'm like, all right, get back up, put my clothes on, drive up to Tai's villa. And of course, like number one, you have Tai, and then number two, you have Owen, both of them the greatest ramblers of history. So I swear to God, we started shooting at, I think, 11:30 p.m. And this is not an exaggeration. We finished at 8:30 a.m. in the morning.
Oh.
And the only reason why we finished is because I had to catch my damn bus. Like we lit like, and of course they never released the video, it was just this like crazy ramble. Super valuable, but it just got lost in the confusion of Owen shooting so much content. But it was really, really freaking valuable. And I remember I like passed out behind the camera the whole time. But I'm like, this is so valuable. Like, damn, like I gotta stay awake and all that jazz. So I'm glad to hear that he's still the OG guy, because that was way before he even blew up. So you said you bought the one-on-one with him. How much was it?
So the 60K at the beginning, and then I upgraded something and it was in total 100K. Yeah.
60K for a month, or how much?
No, that was for like 8 months or something. Yeah.
Damn, that's really cheap. Like Tai,
it's not that expensive. Yeah.
I'm like, that's kind of almost cheaper than our price for our one. And what did you upgrade for the 100K? Like, what did you get there?
Yeah, it was kind of like an extension and like even more one-on-one. So now we're chatting on WhatsApp all the time, one-on-one calls. I don't know, every month, 1 or 2 calls and stuff.
Oh, I mean, if you if you consider the high level that you're at, what is kind of like the value that you're getting from Tai now? What are like the craziest lessons that you've gotten from him?
Craziest lesson. Yeah, so Tai and I, we don't that much talk about business, like a lot of life in general, life hacks, traveling, travel routine, how to structure things, getting a personal concierge, even dating, everything. And then the company, hiring like a COO, going on podcasts, investments a lot, stuff like this. Yeah.
Wow.
Not so much even business stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's actually really epic, because I can imagine. I mean, there's so many small nuances that, a business owner like that doesn't have a program on, because it's just not big enough of a demand for it. Like you said, like how to get a concierge, right? It's like, if Tai would make a program on that, nobody would care, because just not enough people that give a damn about that. But it's like such small things. I'm like, they have a huge impact on you. So yeah, what kind of concierge did you get now? Do you know? Do you already have one?
Yeah, like a personal one. It's kind of like a personal assistant, but just someone who takes care of, I don't know, dinner reservations, travel plans, booking flights, ordering books, ordering food, stuff like this.
Yeah. I have the same. Yeah. It's just like full on. I call it wheelchair mode. That's kind of like an internal joke within my company. I'm just like in a wheelchair. I can barely move. Do everything for me. Like wheelchair me from point A to point B.
Yes. Yeah, it's good.
It's a complete game changer.
It is.
One thing is that I keep hearing over and over again is like Tai's kind of like opposed to Alex Hormozi and Gary Vee for giving away everything for free. Tai's more like, hey, don't give everything away for free. Like, what's your take on that?
Giving everything away for free. To be honest, like whenever I'm on podcasts and stuff and I get asked questions or do YouTube videos, I just share everything. Like I'm not holding anything back or whatever. And even programs, like the cheapest one, the entry one, is $6.95, and people get like really high level stuff, like 70 video lessons, right?
Yeah.
With Tai, behind the scenes videos from the mastermind. So yeah, like I was always a big fan of just like over delivering, and
it's funny because I'm also very much into this whole over-delivering thing, especially in our niche, because it's hard to gain trust, right? I know we're in the make money online niche. Both of us are. And, it's easy for people to be like, oh, yeah, you're just like the next guru or whatever. So it's important in our niche, especially, to be like, hey, listen, I mean, you said it like yourself, like cheapest program is like $6 and it's like a lot of value for us. Also, we got a one for $297 and it's like, here's a lot of value. So people are like, oh shit, like this really is not a scam. Like, okay, there's actually really good value in there. Like, I wonder what the high ticket stuff is going to be like. So it's kind of really important. But then again, you look at someone like Tai who just won that game without giving everything away for free. He does give a lot away for free. Don't get me wrong. But at the same time, he also does have pay barriers for a lot of his stuff, and he's crushing it. He's like literally, like, we always used to joke about it. It's like when Tai stopped doing social media, we were like, he won the game. Like, he won online. Like, if there is ever like the internet competition, like, he won it. And he did it without Alex Hormozy / Gary Vee style of giving away everything for free. So that's a really interesting dynamic,
Yeah. Yeah, he also has like a lot of front-end products, like cheap ones, where you can get started for like $1 or whatever, and then he's putting a lot of value in there. But yeah, I guess everyone has their own unique approach, and everyone has to find what works for them. Yeah.
True that, man. We used to talk about it in a dating thing so much. It's like there's no correct way to do things. There's no correct thing. It's just like it depends on how well you implement that, right? There's no perfect pickup line. It's just like how you bring it across.
Yeah.
I mean, look, man, you're 23 years old. You're crushing it. What's your plan? Do you have like a 10-year plan, 5-year plan, 50-year plan?
Yeah. Yes and no. So first of all, I think it's like hard to plan out for the next 10 years or whatever, because, now so much has happened in the last 5 years. I went from, I don't know, just being a normal guy in school, playing video games all day long, to now living in Dubai, being a multimillionaire, all these projects, whatever, like running the online business. And so much has happened. When I first started, I didn't think that I would get so far in such a short time. Right. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens in the next 10 years. But yeah, overall game plan is, continue growing and building the businesses. I'm doing a lot of investment stuff now, like real estate, crypto, stocks, all that good stuff. So yeah, just like double down on investments, especially real estate. And then, yeah, in the future, I see myself having a family, multiple homes, one here in Dubai, something in Europe, maybe Cape Town also. And yeah, just, doing awesome stuff, building awesome businesses, connecting with cool people, having a great time. And yeah, always getting better as a person and growing.
Amen, man. Amen. That's kind of name of the game. It's cool that you also want family. It's weird because I remember people started saying like, oh, our generation, like none of us wants to get married and get a family anymore. But like almost every single one of my friends, they made a ton of money. They had, a lot of casual experiences with a lot of different partners. And now they're married. They're married, they got kids, and they're like full on actually doing it. And it's cool that, this also lives on in you. What do you think in terms of getting married? Should it be a girl that you meet in Dubai? Should it be just old school German girl? What's your preference there?
I don't know. Let's see. Here in Dubai, not sure if you will find the right woman here, because I guess Dubai attracts a specific type,
Yeah.
Is in general big cities, but who knows? Let's see. German, I don't know.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, I cannot imagine ever settling down with a girl that lives in Dubai or that frequents the place many times, because I think, we all kind of know what's going on behind the scenes with many girls in Dubai. But yeah, it's like, I'm so happy that my girlfriend, I met her way before. Actually, that's not even true. Things have already blown up back then with the dating business, but I wasn't living like that. I remember I was still living in a €1,000 a month student apartment in Helsinki way after I had made my first million, because in my head I was like, I don't want to spend more money than $1,000 a month, even though I had all this money in my bank account. So I'm very happy that she met me like that. She didn't know that I was making a lot of money until very, very, very long into our relationship. She was just kind of like at some point like, hey, wait a minute, like, where is this money coming from, And to be honest, like the older I get, the more grateful I am about that. So if I meet a girl now, it's really hard for me to distinguish between, does she really like me or does she kind of like the lifestyle that comes along with it? That's why I wanted to ask your take on that. So you don't have any preferences, German girl or anything like that?
No, I do have preferences, of course, but yeah, I guess not German.
Yeah.
But who knows? It depends, Everyone is different, but yeah.
I mean, how are you often perceived? I mean, you're someone young, you're an entrepreneur, you're German, so there's like a lot of different factors coming together. It's an interesting combination. How do you get perceived when you're, when you're going out, when you go into parties, when you're talking to girls, something like that?
How I get perceived. So
Yeah,
first of all, regarding parties, I don't party at all, right?
nice.
I think in Dubai I've only been in a club once. So what I do
Hmm.
is, we go out with friends to like bars and stuff, but not like actual clubs and clubs and clubs,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, how do you get perceived? Just normally, right? And then over the time, uh, like at the beginning when someone doesn't know you, right?
Yeah.
Uh, they don't know you, but then slowly over the time, some details, and they get to know you.
Ah,
That's
all
good. It's
right.
good.
So for example, like one thing that I started doing in the very beginning, once I started making more money, I would take my watch off when I would go
Yeah.
meet a girl, because I'm like, I don't want her to recognize the watch. I don't want her to think that I'm rich. So I would have like a poor Max outfit and then a rich Max outfit. And whenever I would go out on a date or something like that, I would put on the poor Max outfit. And I remember even like places like my apartment, like once I started having a nice apartment and someone would say, "Oh, you have such a nice apartment." I'm like, "Oh, it's not mine. A friend allows me to live in here for free." I was so paranoid about like I don't want to come across as like the typical rich guy. Do you have that as well?
No, to be honest, not really. No.
That's good, man. I envy you, dude.
No. I guess, when you get to know people, whether it's girls or also normal like guys and whatever, listen, but like you realize quite fast, how they think,
Mm,
how they act and what their attitude is and stuff. Yeah.
mm. Yeah, man. I mean, as long as you are careful and as long as you don't use it as a crutch, I think you should be fine. And especially with someone like you, I mean, you and I haven't talked much before the podcast, but you strike me as a very hardworking person. You strike me as a very awake and focused person. So I don't think you'll ever have an issue with that as long as things stay like that. But yeah, man. I mean, look, if you're 23 and you're hanging out with a bunch of influencers, I mean, you're hanging out with people like Tai Lopez, a lot of people that make a lot of money. Have you ever had it where you would hang out with someone and you're like, I don't want to do the things that they're doing, like they're taking drugs, they're going out party, they're on the wrong side of success, so to speak? And if
Yeah.
so, how do you kind of protect yourself against it?
Yeah, for sure. How do I protect myself? What means protect? Like I'm just not a guy who's into like drugs and partying and this and that. It's just not my thing,
Mm.
right? So that's it.
Yeah, that's
Like
good.
I do drink a wine and this and that and whatever. And when we
Yeah,
travel, sometimes no, but not in like an extreme way. It's not a lifestyle. Yeah,
yeah, that's good. That's good.
yeah,
I mean, especially, I come from Austria. We're very old school there. And then once I lived in LA, I was all of a sudden like, I remember like I was just coaching and people offered me cocaine. And I'm
yeah,
like 22 years old. I'm like, I don't know. Like my mom said it's really bad, so no thank you. I was just thrown into this adult world and it was really crazy. So I think
yes.
your German mindset might also help you with that, man.
But honestly, like here in Dubai, like the social circle and the people that I'm with, they're like zero also into this
Mm,
stuff. Of
that's
course,
pretty
sometimes
cool.
when you go travel and hang out with other people, sure you'll have some people who are into partying and maybe drugs and stuff. But here
Mm.
in Dubai, like zero.
That's good. That's beautiful to hear, man. You mentioned investments earlier.
Yeah,
Isn't crypto like blowing up again? What is Bitcoin at right now?
36K or something, 37.
Not bad. Not bad. Oh yeah, 36. Damn. It is
Yes,
going up. I still have my portfolio on my old phone. I bought Bitcoin in 2017 and Ethereum as well. What are
nice.
yeah, what's like something that excites you right now in terms of crypto investment? Because I shit on it a lot on my
Yeah,
brand. So it's like my official stance is like 99% of it is scam and don't do it. And you're an idiot if you want to make money online and you try to do with crypto. But at the same time, I'm also honest and transparent about it. It's like, yo, I bought a ton of crypto back in 2017, not
yeah,
necessarily as like this is my goal, but as like, yeah, it's like a backup. I put some toy money on that and see what comes out, you know?
yeah. Yeah, for me, it's just like at the beginning when I first got into crypto, I bought all these altcoins and projects and this and that. But then at one point, I just switched now to like 95% Bitcoin. I just buy Bitcoin every single day and that's it. Done.
Oh, you buy it every single day?
Yeah.
Why that? Why not just everything at once? Or how exactly does that strategy work?
Because you dollar cost average, right? And you on average get kind of like the
Um,
best price. Yeah, I've been doing it for like over a year now. And in Binance you can set up this auto purchase, and then every day at XYZ time it just buys. Yeah,
Nice. How much you buy per day?
1,000 euros.
That's epic. And why Bitcoin? Not why not Ethereum? Again, I know nothing about it, so I'm
Yes.
curious.
I'm also not like super big into like crypto. I have like good friends who are super deep into it.
Yeah.
But yeah, when you take a look at the projects and stuff and like how Bitcoin is built in the future and this and that, like you can basically kind of like separate Bitcoin from all the other stuff, right? Yeah.
Damn. I feel like this is gonna be a good reel right there. So you buy $1,000 worth of Bitcoin every single day,
Yeah.
and you've been doing it for how long now?
Over a year. And before I was buying like, like in not every day, but like every couple of weeks or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. How
Yeah.
long are you planning on holding it?
Good question. But like for the super long term, you know,
Yeah.
I see it kind of as like a retirement. So I'm not really planning on selling, even if it goes to like 100K, 150, 200, 300. Maybe at one point, I will sell parts of it and then buy more Bitcoin at a cheaper price later on. But let's see.
I've
But
never
it's just
heard
like,
about it.
yeah.
I've never heard about this strategy. I'll just buy 1,000 every day. It's such a rich guy's problem to have.
It is.
Oh, that's so funny. I mean, how do your parents live? Because sometimes parents are like, "Hey, buy us a house, please." Sometimes
Yeah.
parents are like super old school. They try to stay the way they are. How is it with yours?
Yeah, they are, I guess, more old school, right?
Mm.
So they don't want me to buy them a house or whatever. They're like super humble. Even when we go to restaurants and I pay for the bill, they're like, "No, you don't have to pay, whatever."
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, my dad still works in his job. I offered to retirement stuff, and I help my family, of course. But he enjoys the job, right? My mom is not working. And yeah, they live in Germany in a small town, have their own parents, so my grandparents there,
Yeah.
family and stuff. Yeah, they come
So,
visit me here quite a lot.
so
And
just
yeah,
to clarify that, you have offered them to buy them a house and they declined it.
no, not buying the house, but retiring my dad because they
Okay.
already have a house, right? But yeah,
How how did that go? Did you just send him a WhatsApp message? Hey, by the way, if you want to retire, I got you back. Or walk me through the
yeah,
process.
kind of like this, when you speak on Zoom, right? And we call quite a lot, and then I don't know. I don't know exactly how it was. I told it to him multiple times, right? Just whenever it was fitting. By the way, if you want to stop working, don't worry, right? Like easy.
That's so cool. Do you have siblings?
Yes, one younger brother, 3 years younger, but he's not into entrepreneurship at all.
Mm.
He's studying and doing his thing.
Yeah, same for my brother. It's weird. I think they see it's like the role of entrepreneur is taken in the family, and then they want to do something else. I felt like the same for my siblings. None of them is in entrepreneurship at all.
Yeah,
Like almost the opposite. It's like because I do it, it's like uncool or something like that.
maybe. But I also think like not everyone is born to become an entrepreneur,
Mm.
right? Yeah,
Let's talk about that. What do you
sure.
think? What do you think? Do you need to be born with in order to be crushing it as an entrepreneur?
What means born with? Like, oh, good question. Some people just have it, and some don't. It's tough to describe, Um, but I guess you know what I'm talking about. Some people they just don't have it, right?
Mm.
Of course, they can grow into a new person
Mm.
and become the person who can become an entrepreneur, right, and become successful. But for some, it's like tougher and harder,
Mm.
especially if you, I think, are already a little bit older. I don't know, like 24, 25, 26, 30, 35, whatever, right? And you for years and years and years have been sticking into this or been with this like one mentality where it's like, hey, go to get a 9 to 5 job, work in there and get a house and da, 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 da. You have your family, friends, everyone talks about it.
Mm.
Like they are so into their world and it's super tough to get out. right? I have friends from Germany, and I'm still super close with them, right? They're not into entrepreneurship at all, but throughout my journey, I always try to help them and get them into the world too.
Yeah, classic.
First started my theme pages, and I started making money with them. One of the friend that I was in Australia with, I was like, hey man, like start a theme page too, and he got like 80,000 followers, started making money. But the day where I left Australia, he just stopped doing it. Right.
Yeah.
Another friend of mine, he was selling in the direct messages on one of my Instagram theme pages. First month, he made like $2,500 net profit, right? And then he stopped. Now another guy, he was like, hey man, like I don't like my job so much and this and that and whatever. Can you help me, right? And I was sure, man. Like, look, you should do this affiliate marketing with Phil's program, right? People are crushing it. We can show you exactly like what to do. You get the program. I got him a discount for Phil's program, right? Not for free, because when someone doesn't pay for anything, they don't take it serious. So he paid like $1,000 for him. I even gave him one of my theme pages with like 130,000 followers. Like, man, you have the program. You can do affiliate for it. You have 130,000 followers. Let's go. Guess what he did? Nothing, right? So some people, I don't know, like just the drive or whatever is missing, but I think it's okay. You don't have to become an entrepreneur. Another friend of mine, for example, I also always pushed him to do his own thing, build his own business. He didn't do it, but what he did is he kind of like became self-employed, right? So he doesn't have employees, but he's doing a lot of things in my business on a percentual base and other people's businesses, now making 9,000 euros a month, working in Germany, has a nice apartment, travels a lot. It's good. And over the time he develops. But yeah.
There's so many interesting points that you put there. I feel like, and I've had very similar experiences with getting friends in. Like first they reach out to you, like, can you help me? Can you help me? And then you do help them, and you help them like a lot. Like you said, like you give them discounts. I've even made the mistake of giving my program out for free to friends. It didn't do shit. And I'm always kind of like, again, thinking about the parallels and the differences between me and them. And I'm like, for me, it was like, I never had it easy. I had to fight for every single piece of advice. Like my whole journey was, I had to just eat shit for 6 months as an unpaid assistant. Couldn't afford food. I had to steal bananas from the store. My shoes had holes in them and all that jazz. But I learned, like I had to work really hard for that learning. And then, my friends are your friends. They have it so easy because like their best buddy is Niklas Pedde, and like, yo, could you just help me? Like, do you feel like hardship or having it difficult is a driving factor for some people?
Again, what was the question?
Sorry, the rambling. Yeah. Do you think that having it difficult or hardship is kind of like a driving factor for people? Do we need it to be difficult for us to succeed?
Yeah, to some degree, yes, for sure. But even for the friends, for example, my friends, for example, if they would come up to me and be like, hey, Niklas, can you help me, build this business and stuff? Yes, of course. It would still be difficult for them, right? They have their own challenges just on a different way. Or when people join up, your coaching program or my coaching program, of course, it's a lot easier than, if they do everything themselves. But still, there's challenges that they have to overcome and this and that. So I guess it's just part of the game. Yeah. And it's needed, because when you learn to overcome challenges, you grow as a person, you get better, you learn new skills, you adapt, you maybe unlearn something that you need to do to grow the business. Like through challenges and difficult things, that's how you grow and how you make progress in the end.
Yeah. It's maybe it's the break of expectations that, when people are your friends, they're like, okay, well, I will have it so much easier because my friend has done it. And then, like you said, even though they have your help, it's still going to be difficult. And then that's the break of expectation where they're like, oh, I thought it's going to be a breeze. Well, this sucks. Now, I'm stuck here and I don't want to do it anymore. Oftentimes it is that break of expectations that is really difficult for people to overcome. If they know ahead of time, hey, you're going to suck at this and you're going to struggle with this for X amount of time, I think it would be easier for some people to handle. But
and I think I think also it's a lot about identity. Like we both now have the identity of as an entrepreneur, and over the time, you get specific beliefs and mindsets and this and that. Like we are entrepreneurs, we do something. But if you're working 9-to-5 job, you go to university for years and years and years, your parents are like, hey, this is how everything needs to be done. You have the news and this and that, and they really have this identity that just holds them back. You know, when they then even come to Dubai, they see the Lambo here, they see the G63, they see us going out for dinner, spending $1,000, living this lifestyle, 300 square meter apartment, this, that, whatever. They're still in the identity of whatever, working 9 to 5, however you want to call it. And it just like, it doesn't click, you know, it doesn't do anything.
Yeah. Conversely, I would almost argue that once you have that identity of like, oh, I'm the entrepreneur, that once you run into difficulties, and that's happened with me many times, that we're crushing it. Like first time we made $500,000 a year, I'm like, wow, like I'm making now a month that I would make like otherwise in like 5 years or whatever.
Yeah.
And now you have that identity that you're crushing it, but then inevitably you're running into an obstacle, and all of a sudden you're making less than the month before, and you have to fix a bunch of things before you get back on point. But now your identity of like, oh, look at me, I'm crushing it, I'm the entrepreneur, is actually holding you back again. So it's kind of like this bubble that constantly has to be plowed through, you know?
Yeah, exactly. You always have to grow as a person, develop, adjust, adapt, and to kind of like reinvent yourself, I guess.
Yeah. Have you ever had a crazy downtime in any of your business where you're like, okay, fuck, I'm just about to drown here, and then you kind of had to, claw yourself back?
No, not really.
That's beautiful, man.
So the first 8 months of the journey, I didn't get any results, or I didn't make any money. But I guess it's normal, when you first start, you won't get rich overnight, right?
Yeah.
So for 8 months, I was kind of like struggling, and then I started making money. Of course, it was ups and downs. The first 10K month dropped down to, I don't know, like 6K or whatever, down again, and then up again, and whatever. Like, but no, like every single year I made more money, and yeah.
That's beautiful. I've actually had it that I've had years where I made less. I mean, also, to be fair, I had to change from one business model to the other twice. So first I had to change from the niche, from the dating to the business. And then I went from organic to also incorporate more cold traffic stuff. So that's where like a lot of big important lessons. But, I'm honestly grateful as hell for that, because it makes me appreciate every single thing that I have. So yeah, like you said, there's ups and downs. Now, one thing I wanted to ask you is like, because you said like, some people have it, some people don't. Some people have more of something, some people have less. What is kind of like one thing that you are always looking back to that you've always had, where you're like, okay, I'm kind of happy that I've always had XYZ character trait?
Yeah. So actually, like I was recently speaking to my mom, and she told like stories about when I was small and this and that. And I was always this kid that always did whatever he wanted to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, for example, when I was younger, every single day I was going out and like playing with friends on the street, doing this and that. And it was so much that it was literally every single day. And at one point, my mom was like, hey, like today, please like stay at home, chill a little bit. And I like broke out of the home and stuff, and still went to my friends and met up with them. So I was always this little bit against, like, yeah. And then I guess, when I read the book, Rich Dad Poor Dad, I always had my own, how do you say? In German, you would say eigenen Willen.
Yeah, your own free will, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like I always, when I wanted to do something, I just did it, right?
Yeah.
And same for the entrepreneurship. When I saw this opportunity, I was like, hey, this is cool. Like I did it. My parents were like, be careful and this and that and whatever. Maybe it's not the right thing. Friends were like, stupid, day trading, whatever. But I was like, yeah, like you guys are saying it won't work. So now let me go even more all in and show you that it's gonna work, right?
Yeah.
So yeah,
it's almost like, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but it's almost like you had this obsession that you wanted to go after that. And that's one thing that I see with every single person that has made it in any, whether it's a pro athlete or, multiple 7-8 figure business. They all had this obsession of like, they were always easily obsessed with things.
Yeah.
For me, one of the biggest obsessions, the first obsession that I've had was video games. I know you touched upon it earlier.
Same.
There was no, oh, let me play an hour. It was like, let me play all night.
Yes, same.
Yeah. What kind of games did you play? I mean, you're like a generation of games after me, I think.
Yeah. So it was like League of Legends, Minecraft when I was younger, stuff like this. Yeah.
Yeah, it's exactly one generation after me. For me, it was more like Final Fantasy, Metal Gear Solid, World of Warcraft. Like I was freaking, I think 12 or 13 when World of War. No, actually 14, 15 when it came out.
Yeah.
it was, because you had to pay for it. It was the first freaking game where you had to pay a subscription for it. And, me being a broke teenager, I'm like, $16 per month? Are you crazy? But of course, I was in that, man. I remember just like, I missed the bus on the way home from school. And it was like 6 kilometers. My school is 6 kilometers away from home. And I'm like, fuck this. I got to go play World of Warcraft. So I'm just going to walk. And I calculated, like, if I started walking now, I would be home like 10 minutes before the next bus. So I was like, fuck it. 10 minutes it is. Let's go. And it's weird because a lot of gamers that were huge into gaming, like especially competitive gaming, like for your case, League of Legends, but also things like Counter-Strike, they ended up crushing it with business. There's some really interesting parallel there as well. Like some of the of our head coaches, Roberto, he's been with us for over a year now. Okay, maybe I shouldn't talk about this, but when he applied to become a coach in our program, basically a customer support client success manager, I just read his CV and I stopped reading it like ex-professional gamer. And I think it was also League of Legends. He literally was a pro gamer in Brazil for like 3-4 years. And I'm like, I want to hire this guy. Because I knew, like, you're not going to be a pro gamer unless you grind, unless you're absolutely obsessed with something. And he's crushing it with our clients. It's just such an important thing.
Yeah, for sure. It was the same for me. You know, when I was gaming, not just 1 hour, but like all like 10 hours a day until middle of the night. But then it was the same in business. You know, when I started the business, it wasn't, let me work 1 hour on the business. No, like, let me work until 3, 4, 5 a.m. in the night. And then school starts at 7:30. Okay, fuck it. Let's go. Yeah.
Do you still play?
No.
Not at all?
No.
Zero. Damn. Just wait. Just give it a couple more years. It was exactly
maybe I will get back to it. But
yeah. I didn't play for like, I think 7 or 8 years. And then I consider myself gotten back to it. But then at the same time, I'm like, I look at whenever I boot up the PlayStation and I look at my last save and it was like 4 months ago. And I'm like, shit, I play every 4 months for a freaking hour. But it doesn't even feel like that. Time just flies so damn quickly, man. It's fucking epic. But I recommend it. Like, if you don't play video games for a while and then you get back, they got a lot better. And you're like, holy shit. Like, wow, like, look at the grass. Holy shit, this looks so good. Like, I play Hogwarts Legacy now, and I'm like, this is just a huge world. Like, what the fuck? You can run around. It doesn't end. I'm not, you know, like, when I played video games, it was just a wall. You couldn't pass through anymore. This whole open world thing was completely freaking different, man. But yeah, man, good times. I recommend you get into it at some point, man. At some point. So what are your plans now in terms of Christmas, holiday, blah blah blah? Are you just gonna stay in Dubai, or are you gonna go back to Germany again?
Yeah, so Dubai for the next, I guess, 1 month, 1.5, right? Family's coming probably for like 3 weeks, visiting me here in Dubai, and then for Christmas just back to Germany, spend time with the family. We'll go skiing in Austria.
Yes,
yes, Austria is good. And then back to I have like masterminds here too, I think. And yeah, after, let's see.
Epic, man. Where are you going skiing in Austria?
Not sure yet. It's not fixed.
All right.
Yeah. What about you? Where do you spend Christmas and New Year?
Actually, so usually I've always spent Christmas at home in Austria, but now since last year and this year, I'm going to spend Christmas with my girlfriend here in Finland.
Nice.
Yeah, because she's an only child. Her parents have basically no one else other than her. So we usually spend Christmas Eve, like the 24th, with her parents, and then we fly on the 25th, 26th to Austria, and then celebrate there again with my family. And it's cool because I don't know how it is for you in Germany, but like, I need snow for Christmas, man. Like, if there's no snow, I'm like, what the hell is that? And Finland is like guaranteed freaking snowing right now. Like, literally right now it's snowing. And you know, I was in Cyprus earlier, so I'm like full on, like, still in summer mode, and I'm so hyped that it's cold now and there's snow. And yeah, so we have the white Christmas here, and it's cool because, you know, her family are typical Finns. They're like very hello, like super just no emotions, which I love. Because when I meet people and they have these fake emotions, they're like fake nice, I'm like, that's weird, right? Same, you know, you probably know this, like, we Germans and Austrians, we're very similar. We're just like normal emotions, right? We're not fake emotions. So with her parents, I feel very much at home because I know they're not faking anything. They're just very down to earth. They're very cool. We always eat steak and stuff like that for Christmas. So, you know, I'm a simple guy.
Steak for Christmas, that's good.
All day, man, all day. You've ever been to Finland?
No, never.
Dude, it's actually not bad, especially if you go up to the north, Lapland. It's in the Arctic Circle. We went there last year, I think. Or was it this year? No, it must have been last year. And we saw the northern lights and stuff like that. Like, got one of these igloo hotel things. It's incredible. Like, northern lights are fucking awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, one thing I really recommend you, man. And you can do things like what is it called with the dogs that are pulling the sleigh?
I know which one. Yeah. It looks super good. You sometimes you see it on Instagram, like Finland and stuff. The Northern Lights and the dogs and this and everything, the igloos. It looks cool.
Hell yeah, I can recommend. And that's where I started eating meat again. I've been vegetarian for 12 years, and then I started eating reindeer meat. And I looked at the macros because I know you're into fitness as well. And I'm like, wait a minute, this is just a piece of meat, and it has like pure protein and just a little bit of fat. This is amazing. So what do you do for fitness? Because I can see that you're clearly into health and stuff like that as well. Like, run me a little bit through your routines here.
Yeah, sure. So I have like a fitness coach, like health and nutrition performance coach, who helps with and a personal trainer. So two people helping with fitness. And yeah, fitness wise, I just try to go to the gym as often as possible, 3-4 times a week. And then I do a lot of what means cardio, but like steps. I have like a treadmill here, right? So
my man.
Like a walking desk, yes. Every
That's
morning.
The best.
Yeah, it's good. All the calls usually, like podcasts, too loud, but like calls, I'm doing it from the treadmill.
Yes.
Morning, first hour or two. I do my work from there, often at the beach, a couple of times per week, getting sun. Today, actually, I hope I didn't get like a little sunburn, but it was good before. But yeah, at the beach, getting steps in, and then going to the gym. Eating wise, it's just a lot of meat, 2 steaks a day or something, a lot of eggs,
dude,
10 to 15 eggs.
You're the same.
Berries. Yeah. Sometimes sushi, maybe. That's it.
That's exactly what I do, man. Like, everyday steaks, 2 steaks, 2 steaks and 5 eggs for breakfast. The rest is chicken and fruit. And steps. Do you do 10K or how many do you do?
15.
Damn, so 15K steps, man.
I try to get 15, right? I don't do it every single day, but yeah. I was speaking to Tai, and he was like, hey, 10 is too less. You should do 15.
Wow.
18 is too much, because then he was like, you burn muscle, but 15 is perfect.
15 is a sweet spot, huh? Damn, man, you got me there. Okay, all right, 15K. Because I hear this more and more that it's like, yeah, 10 is nice. My buddy Gregor Gallagher, shout out, Kino Body. He's also like, yeah, try to aim for 15. At the very least, do 12 and a half. And I'm like dicking around on 10K, and I'm like, okay, all right. And now hearing it from you as well, all right, 15K it is from now on. Let's go. The treadmill desk is also game changer, man. It's just like you wake up in the morning, you do a call, boom, you got 4,000 steps in already.
Exactly. Yeah, it's super. For
game
sure.
Changer, man. Game changer. So what is your day-to-day life look like? Like, do you have a daily routine, morning routine, evening routine?
No, not really. Like, to some degree, yes. But when I first started, I had like daily routines and this and that. But now, to be honest, it's like, what means quite chill. Like, I don't have like a super strict day or whatever. I wake up whenever I want, right, without an alarm clock. Sometimes, when it's busy and there's a new project or whatever, yes, I do. Or when I just work until sometimes 4 or 5 a.m. in the night. When there's a new project, I do wake up with an alarm clock. But usually, no, I just go to bed at 12, wake up at 8 around this time. And then I get right to work, to the computer. At the beginning, there's a little bit of maintenance stuff, things that have to get done every single day in the business. Something simple like answering WhatsApp messages, right? Communicating with the team, checking if stuff gets done. And then after, it's progress work. And then depending, on what I need to do, I work on it. Sometimes it's just an hour. Sometimes it's 5 hours, 10 hours, 15 hours a day. Always depends, right? And then, in the evening I go out with friends a lot. Almost every evening I'm out here in Dubai, restaurants and stuff. Yeah.
What's progress work exactly?
Progress work. So yeah, like for work, also something I learned from Tai, you can divide like work into 2 things: maintenance, stuff that you have to maintain, that you have to do every single day. So for example, in the business, I don't know, single day, a broadcast has to go out, content on Instagram has to go out, influencer promo has to go out, WhatsApp messages need to be answered. But then you have progress work, which could, for example, be, I don't know, recording new Facebook ads or paid ads, or building a new funnel, new offer, implementing something in the backend, adjusting the CRM, right? And he was like, hey, it's best to separate both things into maintenance work at the beginning, right? of the day, you get it done every single day. And then after you have progress, and depending on how much you want to work, you can do 1, 2, 3 tasks, whatever. But Tai was also
needle
like to me,
movers, basically.
yeah.
Yeah.
Tai was also like to me, like, hey, you shouldn't be more than 3 hours in the office. Yeah. He was like, hey, like the way how he does it and what he advises, you know, if you're more than 3 hours in the office, you're doing something wrong. So he was like, hey, at the beginning of the day, you know, in the office, treadmill, do your steps, 3 hours of progress work, right? Just get stuff done, and before 1 hour maintenance. But then after, you know, you have different phases of like hard work, you have medium work, soft work, and light work, right? And he was like, the hard work, you do it early in the morning and you just do the progress and the maintenance stuff from your desk, from your computer. But after, hey, you know, you can go to the beach, walk there, answer WhatsApp messages from there, communicate with the team. You can even go with friends, go to restaurants, do light work over there from the phone and stuff. Yeah. But it depends, you know, it's not every day like this. When we have something new, a project that we need to get done, it's 15 hours a day, right? It's also not a problem. Yes.
Yeah. It's so beautiful that you mentioned that there's work doesn't always equal work. And I'm also what you mentioned earlier. It's like, if you're new to entrepreneurship and you're kind of used to this rigid structure of like this 9 to 5 mindset of like, hey, you're getting paid if you show up at 9 and you go home at 5. And then oftentimes that translates over into the business when they're starting a business of like, oh, I worked 8 hours on my business today. And then, but what did you do during these 8 hours? It's just you dicked around here, you scrolled around here, and it's like you're not really efficient with it. So that's why I loved what you said there, that there's different kinds of work. There's needle movers, you call it progress work, where you do this once, it's setting up new systems, hiring a key staff member, shooting new ads, and so on and so forth. And then there's maintenance works, things you have to do all the time. And then there's kind of like dicking around work, which is just like, you're saying that you're doing something just for the sake of doing something. It's an easy, like low resistance task, just so you can tell yourself that you did in the hours. But the problem is that many people have to learn, especially when they're beginning, is like, you're not getting paid for the fucking hours. You're getting paid for the progress that you're making, for the value that you're creating, for the sales that you're making. And that's hard for some people to understand at first. They might understand on a logical level, but they haven't internalized it yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. And also focusing on the right things, you know, to give an example for me now in the business, there's always like, I don't know, 50 things I could do to grow the business. You know, you could do this new offer, this new funnel, this new email, adjust this, pay that, blah, blah, blah. But, you know, there's only like two things basically that move the needle. And if I focus on them, we'll have a new record month, right? Yeah.
It's so important to learn this prioritizing. That's like one of the things that is like such a critical lesson that a lot of people just fail. And that's where they kind of find themselves in the business, not on the business, you know, like the classic description of things. How do you prioritize your own tasks? Do you sometimes fall into like, fuck, I just kept myself busy here? Or how do you do that?
Yeah, for sure. But how do I prioritize? So I have my 2 tasks, like influencer marketing and the content on Instagram. Like those are the main things. If they are in place, the business grows, makes money, right? At least for the personal brand and for the coaching and the consulting perspective. And that automatically also grows all the other things, like you know, the agency stuff, the theme pages, shout outs, this, that, consulting club, the masterminds, or where we partner with e-learning business owners. If I focus on this, everything grows, right? But then like regarding prioritizing all the other stuff, I don't know, I guess when you have to-dos, you just know like, hey, this is a priority and this isn't. I guess it's common sense.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. What is like, if you look back at your life, have you ever, because this is definitely something that a lot of people probably ask you personally, have you ever been in a situation where you got burnt out or were you about to burn out? If so, how did you catch yourself? How did you balance things out?
Yeah, burnout. No, I don't know if you could call this a burnout, but no, I don't think so. I never had a problem with working a lot. And the first time or the only time and first time where I started questioning things was after I hit my first $100,000 month, right? So I started my journey, and at the beginning, the only goal was money, right? I want to get rich. I want to make money. I want to make 10K, 20K, 30K, 40K a month. At the beginning, the goal was 10K, but then I realized, hey, with 10K, you can't do much. You have expenses, this, that, whatever. I got to 30K, still realized, hey, 30K, it's nice, but it's not life-changing, right? And then I was, okay, $100,000. I did the math. That's when everything is going to be perfect. And for like 2-3 years, I was working towards it. And then at the beginning of 2020, I hit the first $100,000 month, right? And I thought, hey, like when I achieve this, everything is going to be perfect. And it was nice for 1 or 2 weeks. But then I was like, okay, what's next, right? You buy some nice clothes and this and that, car, whatever, go to hotels. And then I wanted to go get back to work. And I was like, okay, next is 250K a month. And then I realized and asked myself, okay, but why? And I started questioning, okay, why more money? And that continued for like 2 months or something, where I was like really questioning everything. I was like thinking, okay, goals, like before money was driving me, but then, you start asking yourself the stupid questions like, why am I not happy and this and that and whatever, Sam Ovens talks about it in his program. Then I got into like bad routines, right? Stayed up late. At that time, I was still gaming until 5-6 a.m. in the morning, eating pizzas, burgers, not going to the gym and whatever. And it was like a little bit of this like downward spiral, right? And then I was asking, why am I not motivated anymore and whatever? And that continued for like a month too. It wasn't something like super huge. Business was still running. Everything was cool. Like I wasn't depressive or whatever, but it was a phase where motivation was gone for some time, right? And where I was questioning things. Yeah. Not a burnout or something, but yeah.
Yeah. I always say the only thing worse than not reaching your dreams is to reach your dreams and knowing nothing has changed. And for me, it was similar. That for me was like my first million. I was like, okay, now I have it, but what do I do with it? And for me, it was less of like, I felt it less than you did. For me, it was like, yeah, whatever. I'll just keep working until I figure it out.
Yeah.
And then I just kept working. And then I kind of realized, for me, it was really like, I looked back. So it's like, okay, now I made $1 million and it's just lying around. And however, I was also really happy when I was a broke assistant because I was on the journey. And then I realized, okay, hold on a second, Max, like you've always just enjoyed the process. So you've reached that goal for you was 100K a month. Well, why don't you just enjoy the process? Like just keep enjoying the process. And then what I really loved is like you said, like, why? Right.
Yeah.
And I get this a lot nowadays where people are like, what drives you? Like, why do you want to do these things? And I'm like, I kind of sure you have these explanations of like, I want to serve people. I want to be there for my family. I want to build a legacy. I want to, have more investments. I want to do this, or I want to buy XYZ. But then at the same time, I'm more like, why not? Like, why wouldn't I?
Yes.
I love what I do. It's fucking awesome. And the side effect of what I do, like, for example, like if you like eating pizza all day playing video games, that's cool, right? So there's probably people that enjoy eating pizza playing video games as much as I enjoy business, but their side effect is they're getting lazy and fat. My side effect of doing what I love is I make more money, I help more people, I grow a bigger brand, I support more people, and I have all these nice side effects. I'm getting healthier and so on and so forth. So to get back from the ramble here, what do you say when people ask you why?
When people ask me why I do what I do, it's basically just do cool stuff, right? And enjoy the journey. Every day is amazing. I tap dance out of bed. I'm excited for it. And I just want to do cool things and build my life in a better and smarter way, not just in business, but, everything, right? Business isn't also just about making money, but making it in a smart way, optimizing things, the structure of your company, how you work with employees, you're into. And there's always something that you can improve on and get better. And the why is just, build a better and more amazing life for my future family and for myself, and enjoy the journey along the way and do awesome things. Yes.
Amen, man. Amen. It's so freaking cool that when you're meeting someone, we have such similar backgrounds, right? Germany, Austria, online business, blah, 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 young guys. We like fitness, we like cars and all that jazz. And it's so cool when you're meeting people that are like-minded. And I'm just freaking grateful. Like I want to mention it here at this part of the podcast as well. Like I haven't done any networking at all since 2011 or 2012. So I did this whole dating thing. I started getting into it. And for me, that was kind of like a, how do we say, like a wrong mindset, like a non-conducive mindset that I had, like Glaubenssatz, negative Glaubenssatz, how we would say it in English, in German. So for me, it was like, I created this negative mindset about networking once I started getting into this dating coaching thing, because for me, it was like, okay, networking is just a bunch of dudes that are going to come over to you and they want to leech value. They want to ask you questions, get on your nerves. And then I subconsciously carried this mindset within me for literally until this year. And then this year, I started doing the podcast just like, I don't know, I like Joe Rogan. I want to do something like Joe Rogan. So I started talking to people. And then one of the first guests that I've had was Christoph Heuermann from Staatenlos. I don't know if you know him.
No.
Cool. A crazy guy. He's been to every single country in the world. He's 32 years old now. Every single country, like, got kidnapped in Sudan and crazy shit like that. And he helps people with tax optimization. So he helps, expats like us move to places like Dubai, Cyprus, and so on. Cool guy. Yeah. Shout out to Chris Verman. And at the end of the podcast, he invited me to his yearly event, where he basically celebrates his birthday. And I'm like, yeah, thanks for the invite. Probably not going to come. And then I talked to my CMO, Robin, and you probably have relationships like that as well, as like my CMO is kind of always like the counterpole. Like, I'm more the dreamer and I have the vision, and he's more like the, hey, you should do this, you should do that. And he kind of vetoes my shitty ideas and so on and so forth. This is counterpole. And he said, dude, you got to go there because there's that and that and that person. You should fucking network more. And then I'm like, fine, I'll do it. And then, every single time I talked to someone there, it was like a really awesome person like you. And then I'm like, okay, holy shit, this is fucking awesome. And then I started doing podcasts, get more and more people. And now I get to talk to some really cool person like you here, for example. So that's really, really, really fucking valuable. I just want to leave this here for all the podcast listeners and viewers. Like, don't underestimate networking. It can be very, very awesome, especially if you have a thing like a podcast.
And especially also on the entrepreneurial journey, right? You meet so many interesting and cool people who do different things, who think differently. And I think it's one of the most amazing parts of being an entrepreneur is the people that you meet.
Yeah, 100%. Well, who is like did you ever have a moment where you're like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm meeting XYZ person. I'm so grateful I did. Do you have any specific person that you met like that?
For example, with Tai. Yeah.
Nice.
That was like, what the fuck is going on? Because I've been following him for since 2016, right? Watched all of his podcasts, literally every single one, basically. Not every single one, but like in Australia, every single evening, 2 or 3 hours listening to podcasts, his programs, this and that. Oh, man. So then hanging out, in Kano with him, spending all the time with him, his family, doing a project together. That was like, what's going on?
It's such a mind fuck when you're like, that's the guy I used to learn from. And now I'm like hanging out with him.
Yes.
Like, damn. Do you write a journal? Do you have a diary or something like
that? Yes. So a lot. I write. What means a lot? Like not every single day, but yes, I do write things down, plan out the future, do kind of like after action reviews about the past. And one thing I've been doing for almost 2 years now, whenever there was something in my life, whether it's good or something bad or a challenge or whatever, I just took my phone and recorded like a little video and started putting all of my thoughts into the video. And I have like 15 videos or something now about like achievements and this and that, but also challenges that I have like personally, privately. And some videos are like 20, 30, 40 minutes. And then, I'm continuing to do it. And in 10 years or something, I'll just have everything documented. And that's kind of like a journal. But on top, I write down a lot, do after action reviews. Yeah.
That is such a sick idea, man. I do diary, I write it down. But videos, I mean, why don't I just do a damn video? It's much cooler, like when they make a Netflix documentary about Niklas Pedde, you got the footage, Damn, that just blew my mind. I mean, why don't, I do everything via video anyways. Might as well shoot a video for myself. And you just put it on a local hard drive or G drive or something like that?
I have it on my phone now, but at one point I could put it on a drive. Yeah, but super easy. Sometimes you're in the evening in the bed, you have thoughts about the business or whatever. Just put the phone, record 30, 40 minutes, whatever.
Hell yeah. Damn, fuck, that's such a good idea, man. When they make a Martin Scorsese movie about Niklas Pedde life, who do you want to play you?
Oh, I don't know. No idea. I'm zero into like movies and actors. I don't know any name. No idea.
You got to pick one. Anyone you know.
Literally no idea.
But hey, come on, Martin Scorsese movies are amazing. You don't even need to be too much into movies. Martin Scorsese movies, I can recommend the hell out of those.
Okay.
So you don't think do you want to ever like write a book like at the end of your career, you know, you're 70, 80? Do you want to write a book? Do you want to bring out a documentary or anything like that? Or is that something that you're not into?
Maybe we'll see. Yeah. I could see myself writing a book at one point. Yeah.
What is it going to be about?
The journey and mindset and basically life lessons, you know, because along the way of being an entrepreneur, you learn so many things that you, for example, wish you knew when you first got started, beliefs, the ways of thinking, habits, whatever, little life hacks, you know, like getting a personal concierge or
Yeah.
can be, you know, tiny things and just putting everything into like one book. And that would be cool. And I guess, you know, over the next, I don't know, 30, 40 years, I will learn so many other things. And then, you know, just having all those life hacks, lessons, mindsets, learnings, whatever, in one place could be cool. Yes.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. So it would be more like a practical book with like autobiographical elements in it.
Yeah. Something in this direction. Yeah.
Is there still a place where you say, I want to visit that place or I want to live there? Because you've done a lot of traveling already.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. So I want to check out this whole area like Copenhagen, Helsinki, Finland, and this and that. Yeah, that's next.
Oh, you've never been Copenhagen?
No, never.
Oh, damn.
And
Yeah.
Tai is always talking about it. He's like, man, you should check out Copenhagen and get a place there and this and that. Yeah.
I know why. I know Ty's preferences. Yeah, I can really recommend it. I mean, it's colder, but it's similar to Japan in terms of like peak civilization. It's like very, very clean, very safe. People
Nice.
are very, you know, I mean, less adventurous than places like Thailand, for example, but it's still very, very beautiful there. And people are extremely well educated. Everybody speaks English and stuff like that. Plus, of course, the culture is great, especially if you're into deer meat. There's so many epic restaurants where you can eat deer, reindeer, moose, and so on and so forth, especially in Finland. And of course, if you're ever around there, man, hit me up. If I'm close by, I'll fly out and we'll hang out and all that jazz.
Sounds good.
You've also mentioned cars.
Yes.
What about those? Do you have any? Which ones you have? What's your dream car?
Yeah, I have two cars, like a Lamborghini Huracan and a
Nice.
Mercedes G63 AMG. Yeah.
Nice, man. Nice, man. What made you get the Huracan and not the Aventador?
Because so the Aventador is also nice, but and probably I will get one in the future too.
I like that mindset.
But yeah, for the beginning, the Huracan was perfect. And actually, it's easier and nicer and softer to drive
Yeah.
in the everyday life, right?
Yeah.
The Huracan is even faster than the Aventador, and the Aventador is just like bigger and like you know heavier and whatever, and it makes more problems also with the I'm not sure what the English word is, the engine or whatever.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
a
the
V.
Huracan is
It's a V12, right? And the Huracan is a
yeah,
V10, I think.
yes, yeah,
Yeah.
Huracan is more reliable and better for like everyday and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's just more fun.
Yeah. It's also the Huracan has dual clutch or double clutch or what it's called. And the Aventador doesn't. So, I mean, you know, when you floor the Huracan, it just like it instantly shifts.
Yeah.
And the Aventador doesn't have it. So it takes about half a second for the gear shift to kick in. So if you're flooring it first, it pushes you back. Then the clutch engages, then it pushes you forward, and then it pushes you back again. The only thing though that I just think is so sad about the Huracan is that it doesn't have the what is it, the suicide doors?
The ones that go up. Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
I'm
That would
like,
be sick.
such a missed opportunity, you know. I would pay 100K more just to get the doors to go up like this, you know.
Yeah, it would be so cool for sure.
Yeah.
And
Go ahead.
it would be nice to have like a great version of the Spider, like with open roof and stuff. I'm not the biggest fan of this. What's the English word? In German, you say Stoffdach.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Soft roof, I think it's called, or so. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not even a car expert, but anyways, yeah, man. Cool. Here's the thing: what we did in Tokyo, we checked out the underground scene, like the Tokyo Drift underground scene with the craziest freaking cars. Did you check that out when you were in Japan?
No, we didn't.
Oh man, if when you go there next time and you want to check it out, I can send you like all the secret locations and stuff like that.
Nice.
They basically have every Saturday, they have a huge tuning meeting at Daikoku, which is like an area. It's like I think it's in Yokohama. It's a little bit outside of Tokyo, and it's basically like a highway parking area. It's just a huge parking spot. And like every night around 11 p.m. I mean, I'm literally just giving away the giving away the secrets. You can go there and you'll see the craziest freaking cars. And then they start drifting. There's like one street where they do the drifting until the cops come. But that was really a huge, because it was a huge, crazy experience, because it's very different from what we do with European cars, because we're all about the stock cars, right? Like you buy your Lamborghini, you don't fuck around with it. Like
Exactly.
you don't modify your Lamborghini
Oh.
or you just buy the damn, maybe you put an extra exhaust in, like Nikki Bra,
Yes.
shout out, but that's it. And in Japan, it's like weird if you don't do it. They're like, what do you mean stock? You bought it stock? Like, what the fuck? Where's the modification? So they're hugely in modifying cars. Plus, of course, I mean, I've seen some modified Lamborghinis there, and they do crazy stuff with it. But what they mostly do is they just buy, Nissan GTRs, Nissan Skylines, Mitsubishi Evos, and they just do their magic on it. And it's just such a nerdy thing because they put so much love into their cars, and you can really tell. And that's, a nice contrast. But yeah, how's the Mercedes? How do you
It's
like
good.
it?
Perfect. Love it. Dream car. Yes.
Yeah. You have
Yeah.
both in Dubai, or do you have one of them in Germany?
No, both of them in Dubai. Yeah.
When you go to Germany, you just rent a nice car, or how do you do it?
No, so I bought my mom a car 3 years ago for Christmas, or
Nice.
surprised her with one. So whenever I'm in Germany, there's a car waiting.
That is so sick. What car did you buy her?
It's X3 or 5 BMW, something
Okay.
like this. I'm not sure if it's the 3 or 5. Yeah.
All right. Nice. So did you put like a big what is it called in English? Like a Schlaufe? What is it called in English? Like what you put on
Yeah, I know what
presents?
you mean. This thing on top.
Yeah,
No,
did you
actually,
put a huge
actually not. The way how I did it was Christmas, and I took the car key and I put it into like a box of AirPods, right? So
Oh,
she thought she's getting AirPods, then opened the whole thing up, and then there was a car key inside. Yes.
damn, man. That's freaking beautiful, man. I
Yes.
mean, you've mentioned so many times you're in the X Mastermind, Y Mastermind, so you're in so many masterminds. Do you still have free content that you say like, oh, I love watching XYZ channel, or is it for you that you basically just say, fuck the free content, I'm just gonna buy the mastermind right away? What's your take on that?
No, there's good free content for sure. But I don't take a look at content like that much anymore. I used to a lot in the past, every podcast from Tai and this and that. I still do now, like every day I'll take a look at some content, but not like in an extreme way. Sometimes there's a video from Tai or something in the members area that I take a look at. Tai is a lot that I take a look at, right? Or sometimes a video pops up on the YouTube feed that I check out, or something there's something specific that I want to learn, and then I check it out. But there's not really like one specific podcast or so that I'm following, or one specific person. Most of the knowledge is honestly just through like networking and people that I surround myself with, right? So all the people that I'm hanging out with, they are super. What means all of them? Not all of them, of course, but a big network of the entrepreneurs and people I have here in Dubai are like super high level, right? Into like marketing and this and that, 8-9 figures. People like Tai, we speak every month. And then I have, I don't know, business partners at Consulting Club. They took this Bashar guy, maybe you know him on Instagram.
Yeah.
From zero, they built the whole brand for him from 0 to 2.7 million followers, and over 20 million collected in under 2 years. So, and there's so many great people in the network. And when there's stuff that I want to learn, and I hang out with them a lot every day, kind of like. So every day it's, you learn something new, catch something. Yeah. And then I have like one-on-one mentors like Tai, or this guy when it comes to health and stuff. I have a travel coach, or a guy that I'm doing calls with. Books. I do read sometimes, not so much, but yeah.
You do audiobooks as well?
Yes.
What are you listening to right now?
Right now, nothing. I was watching the program from Tai, 150 Body. That's one I was. That's what I'm listening to currently. Yeah.
Oh, what's that? 150 is it about bodybuilding, or what is it?
It's about health, nutrition, lifestyle, everything. Yeah.
No shit. Yeah, he got pretty freaking big. Like I remember once he moved to the farm that he had, like every couple months he did one quick story, and I'm like, damn, this guy got big, man.
Yeah,
Who's your fitness coach? If you may shout him out, or I'm not sure if you're allowed to.
his name is Maurice,
Okay.
but he's like super undercover or whatever.
Mm.
Yeah, and then I have one personal trainer here in Dubai, Serbian guy. His name is Dusan. Yes,
Dushan, shout out to the homies. So, how did you meet Maurice? How, because you say he's underground, like undercover kind of guy.
through a friend. Yeah,
Mm. All right, all
yes.
right. And he's basically specialized, I suppose, entrepreneurs for crushing it and so on and so forth.
He's just getting started. Like he's getting started online now too, and yes, he wants to work with entrepreneurs and this and that, help them with performance, kind of like how Nikki is doing it. Yeah,
Not out. So you know Nikki Bra as well, I guess.
yeah, of course.
Yeah, nice man, nice man. I mean, dude, it's so crazy that it's like again parallels and contrasts. The parallels are always that every time I talk to someone who's crushing, who's making a lot of money, they're also super into nutrition. They're
Yeah,
super into health. With the only exception, two exceptions, is that's number one, RSD Tyler, shout out. He's still fat, but he's crushing it.
there's
And
always some exceptions.
there's
Yeah,
always two. And Derek Moneyberg, same for him. Because I remember I met him like years ago, and he all of a sudden gained a lot of weight, and I'm like, bro, what's
yeah.
going on? And he's like, oh, just for 1 year, gonna make some business things going, and then I'm gonna lose weight. And I'm not much in touch with him anymore. Every time I see a video, I'm like, nope, still fat.
Yeah, funny. What's your biggest learning the last couple of years, business wise, and then separately from that, like personally?
Damn, it's a good question. Business wise, I really have to say, as weird as it sounds, like networking is really huge. Like
Yeah,
you said, like the biggest lessons that I've gotten were not from books or masterminds, although
yeah,
from masterminds a lot, but from masterminds is more like progressive learning. You join a mastermind to like, hey, can you guys teach me how to build the sales team culture, right? So
yeah,
it's more like a progress, like a gradual progress. But when you hang out with other people, it's just like small epiphanies where
yeah.
you're like, holy shit. Like the thing you said earlier, it's like, I just make a video and I'm documenting it like that. I'm like, fuck, that's so fucking genius. So the networking was, I think, my most recent lesson of like, hey man, like if you just sit in your metaphorical basement and you're working by yourself and you're only focusing on your team, you're missing out on a lot of crucial and interesting conversations. And there's so many cool people out there. And it's not a competition, like if someone else is crushing it, that can be hugely beneficial for you, and it's good for them. And it's just, there's enough pieces of the pie. And then the other thing is also, I'm sure you can tell that more than anyone else, at some point when you're scaling from multiple 7 to 8 figures, it's only about the people in your company. Sure, it's about marketing. Sure, it's about, cost per lead and all that jazz. But like a mass majority is about the fucking people that you hire, about how you serve those people, about who you put in what position, and how you can give them everything they need in order to thrive. So at some
Yes,
point, you have to kind of let go of this idea of like, it's just me and I can compensate for everything by working hard myself. It's like, no, motherfucker, you can work super hard
yes,
yourself and get to, maybe 100K a month, but eventually you have to extrapolate that skill onto other people. And if
exactly.
you don't know how to manage people, motivate people, negotiate with people, you're never going to make it. And
Yeah,
that was a huge lesson that I've had over the last couple of years.
yeah, yeah, for sure. I think until 100K a month, you can kind of like do everything yourself, and
Yeah.
maybe with a few freelancers and stuff.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, then it's really about just building a great team, you know? Yeah,
Amen. Amen. And then personal, I've been I mean, I've always learned so many personal lessons. I mean, that's kind of how I built my first business in the dating advice. It was all just like personal, interpersonal connections and stuff like that. One thing that I really realized more and more, especially this year, was the idea of serving people also in my personal life, like serving my mother, serving my father, serving my girlfriend, serving my just regular friends. That's the sentence, the epiphany I had word by word is, you need to serve people. You serve them with all your heart and all your energy and everything you got. So when the time comes, they can carry you. And that was kind of like ingrained into my brain that it's all about servitude. And now I kind of realize it more and more when really successful people talk about that of like, hey, I'm just a servant. And I was always like, yeah, it's just marketing. They say that. But then I'm like, no, hold on a second. It really is like that. A true leader is not someone who gets everything for them. A true leader is someone who gives everything.
Yeah.
And that was kind of like a huge lesson for me.
Okay, nice. Cool.
Yeah, man. And you mentioned earlier that, you know, that you agreed that, you know, if you want to go above 100K, you got to hire the right people and so on and so forth. How is your business kind of structured right now? It's you, then I'm assuming CMO, chief sales executive officer, and so on and so forth. Like, give us some insight into that if you're allowed to.
Yeah, sure. So basically, I run the business together with a business partner. His name is Luca. I'm on the front end, right? The personal brand, and I do a lot of the fun stuff, marketing stuff, or the strategy behind it, this and that. He's more of like a tech guy, you know, building the CRM, building, I don't know, the funnel pages, connecting everything, and doing stuff with like UTM sources and this and that, and like building all these crazy things. And yeah, we basically run the business together. And then, yeah, how's it structured? So we first of all talking about Instagram. We have a content team, right? We have 3 people working in a full-time idea finder, copywriter, and multiple designers and video editors actually. And then people who work on the influencer marketing itself and the pages. So that's like one whole in-house team who does all the influencer marketing stuff and the content. Yeah, then we have the sales team, which is divided into, you know, sales reps and setters. So we do setting on WhatsApp and then sales reps. We have a customer success team, you know, 2 people working in it, doing live calls, working with the community, working with students, etc., etc. We have separately from that also customer support. What else do we have? We have 2 copywriters for the broadcasts and for the sequences. We have one guy editing personal content, so like YouTube videos, podcasts, uploading it and doing short form stuff. What do we have? We work with one guy externally who runs all the ads for us. And he has his team. Then we have another video editor. Yeah, it's quite a lot. And then we have the theme pages, agency stuff. Yeah,
of course.
But
Yeah,
yeah.
I can really see like you are so heavy on the content front. I mean, you got a lot more people than most other businesses of your size on the content side with copywriters, editing ideas, and so on and so forth. So you have a whole guy who just comes up with the ideas. That's freaking epic. So that's all he does all day, just sit around, drink coffee, and come up with ideas.
Exactly. Like researching, right? On Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, everything. Because for you, you know, if you're into Instagram, content is the most important thing.
Yeah.
You know, when you have great content in the feed, that's when you book calls, when you get direct messages, when you get website tabs. And it's like, I don't know, 80-20 or 5-95. 5% of content pieces drive 90% of the traffic. Same for the influencer marketing. Like if you have shitty content, your influencer campaigns aren't going to perform, right? You won't followers, you won't have good lead quality, etc., etc. So content is everything. That's why we have a full-time team for it.
Amen. And how many sales reps do you have?
We have, well, how many is it? I can't even count. 7 or something. Yeah, but they're not all full-time.
Closers, that is, or
yes.
They're not full-time, you said?
No.
So they sell other offers as well on the side?
Some of them, yes. Not all of them. We have like 2 main guys, and then the other ones are, yeah.
Got it. That's interesting. And then you said you're doing setting over WhatsApp, or you mean over text, or how exactly?
WhatsApp. Yeah.
Ah, nice. So someone comes in and then you WhatsApp them, like, and then you screen them there.
They book a call. Thanks page. Hey, application not yet complete. My team wants to talk to you before the call on WhatsApp. Cool. Yeah, and they also manually reach out in case they don't reach out.
Yeah, the classic. How many setters do you have there?
2 setters and 1 head off.
Oh, nice man. Yeah, dude, it's so cool. Do you do one thing that I noticed for me as well, to get back to your original question of like how lessons in the business.
Yeah.
The way I used to run my company, whatever, 3 years ago compared to how I run it now is so different. Like 3 years ago, I would just hire someone and I'm like, I mean, this makes me sound like such an idiot, such an asshole. I'm like, welcome, don't talk to me. Bye. Like kind of like that again, because I've had so many people that wanted to work with me in the beginning just because they wanted to be best friends with the dating coach. And then, they would think like, oh, if I work with Max, we're going to go out together and party, So I was like, hey, listen, like we're not best friends. You're here because you want to be in this position. And that was basically it. And now what I do is I have freaking daily meetings. daily sales team meetings, daily coaching team meetings. I'm way more involved than what I was before. How is it with you? Do you do daily meetings, weekly meetings, monthly meetings, or how is it?
No. I used to do not the daily meetings. The content team itself does daily meetings, right?
Yeah.
But no, I'm not involved anymore. Sometimes we do team calls and communicate over WhatsApp a lot. Yeah, I'm not
Beautiful.
I'm not a big fan of having a fixed schedule every single day. Where it's like every single day there needs to be this one call.
Yeah.
It's not my thing. So we do a lot of via WhatsApp, and then internally the teams they do their stuff.
Dope, man. Dope. And is but everybody online, or do you see some of the folks in person as well?
Sometimes I see them in person. Yes, for example, many of the team members also came to the event in Cannes.
Ah,
Marcel
nice.
hosted. Yeah, but everything is basically online. Yeah, they are
Yeah,
remote.
same.
Yeah,
Yeah. For us, I used to be a huge proponent of in person.
yeah,
Which is also cool. It has something when you have like a physical office, people come in, and everybody's
yes,
kind of crushing it. I don't know if you know, but then we had this in Kiev, and then the war started, and then we were like, okay, where's going to be our next office at? And we literally had like a vote, all the European American cities, like where do we want to move? But at that time we had been doing everything online, I think for like 3 weeks or something, since everybody had to get out. And then I'm like, this is kind of cool, like, and it's going really well, and everybody loves it because we teach people how to build a freedom business, so now our employees have that freedom as well.
yeah,
So I was like, okay, let's just do online,
yeah.
and it kind of works even better. I have to say, I hate to admit it.
Therefore, for us, it also works perfectly. Just online, it's good. Yeah,
Yeah, especially, I don't think you could have done it as easily like 10 years ago, but nowadays with like Zoom video calls, WhatsApp, all that jazz, just the best thing ever.
yeah,
And what was I going to say? Yeah, what I do want to start now is like what is it called? Like meetings for the whole staff like once a year, because we have
yeah,
staff in North America, South America, a bunch of people now move to Asia because over the winter.
yeah,
And I just want to get everyone together in like a city, like I don't know, like Berlin, Amsterdam, or like some cool place like south of France. Just fly
yeah,
everybody in and just crush it there together in like a villa for a week or something like that.
yeah. That's good for sure.
Yeah. Hell yeah, hell yeah. So what do you think is like for someone who wants to join your team as a content writer
Yeah,
or as a copywriter, anything like that? Like what's like the number one and the number two skill that you're looking for?
it just needs to in any area. It just needs to be common sense. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I look like. Tai also conscientiousness, right? Some people have it, some don't. If
Mm.
you have it, you're welcome on the team. And then, of course, you need skills in the specific role, for example, copywriting or whatever, and need a lot of common sense over there. Or when it comes to idea finding, whatever, or design. Yeah.
How do
And then,
you
yeah.
go ahead?
And then, of course, personally, it also has to make sense, right? Yeah.
How do you guys screen for conscientiousness? How does it
That's
look like in an
there's a
interview?
there's a test from Tai Lopez, tailopez.com/quiz.
Oh
And
yeah?
like people throw it. Yeah, it also tests on like narcissism, Machiavellianism, psychopathy, and stuff. So with that, you just like you have some bad apples in the application. Sometimes you just done.
Dang. Wait a minute.
Um,
I
and
gotta
then it
check
also
this out.
tailopez.com/quiz.
This whole
And then
podcast is almost like a Tai Lopez endorsement.
it is. But yeah, he's a good guy.
Yeah,
And
I
then
mean, why not? Oh, there I go. I see it. Okay, sick. All right.
yeah, and then it also tests on conscientiousness. So
Yeah.
that's one thing I do. And then there's also 4 questions that I recently just learned, by business partners at Consulting Club. One of them, his dad, he's like super big in business, has like 30 companies, 500 employees, has like private jet company, yacht company. He owns the villa that we did the event at and
Nice.
stuff. So he's like super, super big in business, and he uses like 4 questions to hire people. Yeah.
Let's hear them.
Okay. There we can start with what I can even ask you after. I will tell
Do it
you
with
what the
me. Yeah,
questions
yeah.
are.
Okay. Role
Okay,
play.
yeah,
Let's
let's
go.
go. So what's your favorite wild animal?
Is it something where I have to think about, or is it like the first thing that comes to my
Just the
mind?
first thing. It's just super random, like yeah.
Okay. Eagle.
And why?
Because it soars through the air, it's majestic, and it can fly wherever it wants.
Okay, what else?
What other animal?
No, I mean, like, why else the eagle?
Because it's at the top of the food chain, because it has really good vision, and because it's a big animal. It's not just some tiny shitty fucking bird. It has a big wingspan.
Okay. Anything else?
It's the one of the national symbols of Austria, my home country.
Okay, got it. Cool. So second question would be, what do you think about the ocean?
It's beautiful. It's calming. It's relaxing. It's full of life.
Mm-hmm.
It's blue. It's very colorful, and it feeds large populations of the world.
Okay, cool. What's your favorite home animal?
Dogs,
Why?
because they're loyal. They're always happy, no matter what. They're very simple. They are you can learn a lot from them.
Yeah.
And just looking at them increases your level of happiness.
Yeah. Okay. And what do you think about food?
Oh man, I love food. Food is like the best thing in the world. I celebrate with food.
Mm-hmm.
I when I'm stressed, I calm down with food. When I'm happy, I share food with the other people. I love hanging out, just breaking bread, kind of just being like you mentioned earlier, like my version of partying is just being at a nice restaurant, just ordering all the desserts and have a good time with my buddies.
Yeah. And do you like to try a lot of new things or stick to the same stuff? Yeah, I guess we
Uh,
spoke about it, but
Yeah, it depends. Like
yeah.
during regular times, I eat the same thing every day. But at the same time, when I'm on vacation, I love the idea of tasting different kinds of foods and just kind of experimenting around like that.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah. And so the guy, he used all of those questions to hire all of his employees, right?
Wow.
And all of them. And he's been in business for like 30 years and he's like super fucking big, right? Yeah. And he was like, hey, whenever I ignored the results of the questions, I regretted it later on.
Uh-huh. So it's
And
like every question represents something. Like, oh, the
exactly.
favorite animal represents something. Okay. Let's hear
Exactly.
it.
So the favorite animal, wild animal, is how you see yourself or how you
Well thought.
would want to be, right? And to give an example, one of my business partners, they like 2, 3 years ago hired a copywriter, and his favorite wild animal was this chameleon, right? And chameleons,
Ah,
and then he explained why, like they always change and this and that. And working with him for some time, they also ignored the answers. He was also changing. Sometimes he was wearing like completely like green suit and then a red one the next day, and then something like joggers the next day. And same with his personality, it always just adjusted and adapted,
mm,
right? Or some people would maybe answer, hey, my favorite wild animal is a snake, right?
mm,
And then explain why, like, it's sneaky and it can kill people. You're like, what
yeah,
the fuck
yeah.
is that? You know?
What was
Uh,
yours?
so when I first, when the friends asked me the question, I really like literally didn't know, never thought about it. But then we started a consulting club, and part of the logo is the wolves. So we have 4 wolves as logos,
Mm.
and part of the reason why we chose the wolf as an icon for the brand is because of the values that the wolf represents, which is like loyalty, etc., etc., etc. And yeah,
Damn, that's epic. All right.
yes.
So that's a wild animal. What about the ocean? Is that like your environment, the environment you prefer, or?
No, ocean is how you view life, right?
Mm.
And often when people are, for example, scared about the ocean and they're like, hey, I'm scared, it's fucking whatever. Many,
Ah,
many times they could have some traumas from the past and this and that, unresolved issues with themselves. Yeah.
damn.
And
Well,
their
I'm happy
general,
I said it's beautiful.
yeah. And their general attitude over life. Yeah.
All right. Damn. Okay, what was your answer there?
I love the ocean too. Yes.
Nice. Nice. Okay. And
Yeah.
then the favorite house animal is like your partner, like your ideal partner or something like that.
Yeah, that goes a little bit exactly into the dating direction.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's like how you view your partner. Some people are like in the direction of cats, some dogs, yeah.
My girlfriend is like a dog. I just watch her and I'm happy. She's
Nice.
she's so happy, with such simple things.
Yeah.
Um, now the more I think about what I said, I'm like, yep, that's my girlfriend. She just makes me happy. Very loyal. Um, yeah, that's just so funny, man. Okay, and then the fourth question was
What food? Yeah,
okay, that's interesting. I can't think of what that is.
no idea.
Food is like money. I don't know.
Kind of like represents your sex life and stuff and your
Oh,
preference. Yes.
I want to share it with my friends.
uh,
Wait, but how come sex life is important when you're hiring someone?
Good question. I'm not 100% sure, but probably because even of stuff like loyalty, some people, they might have, a wife, husband, whatever. And they're like, I love food, love trying new things and this and that, and always test out and whatever. Of course, the questions aren't 100% accurate, but they actually
Yeah.
come from Sigmund Freud. You
Oh,
can
no
Google
shit.
them. There's some more questions. I'm not sure exactly which ones there are. Some of them are about, your t-shirts and your shoes and stuff.
Mm.
But it's quite interesting, You start asking some people these questions, you will see the answers, and then
Yeah.
you see how it correlates. Yeah.
What was your answer about food?
I always eat the same stuff. Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool, man. That's so cool. I mean, what do you eat other than steak and blueberries and eggs? You do that every day as well?
I'm not like super extreme, but yeah, I try to eat as much steak and eggs as possible, and like blueberries, blackberries. What else? Sometimes sushi. So like
Yeah.
salmon, nigiri, some rice, sometimes potato, sometimes, but I don't honestly remember when I for the last time had a pasta. It's been
Yeah.
some time. Sometimes it can be like an acai bowl or something in this
Hell
direction.
yeah. Hell
Um,
yeah.
what else? Yeah, that's basically it.
I mean, if you have that many eggs and steak, what does your macros look like in terms of fat?
Yeah, I can give you one
Hell
second.
yeah. Let's hear
Yeah.
the macro comparison. For a comparison, mine are 265 grams of protein, 60 grams of fat, and currently, because I'm on a cut, 110 grams of carbs. But the carbs, they get adjusted every week. So sometimes higher, sometimes lower.
Carbs I have 130, fat 130, and protein 228 grams.
What was it again? Carbs were what? 130?
130, 130, and 228.
Oh, wow. Okay. Pretty high on fat, man. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of bugs me that my fat is a little low, 60 grams. So I have to do a lot of chicken. And chicken is fine, but I kind of prefer beef, like fattier meats.
Yeah.
But damn, it's interesting. Do they get adjusted every week, every month, your macros, or what?
Yeah, they get adjusted over time, but yeah, I've been sticking to this for some time. Yeah.
Damn, man. Do you do cheat days at all?
Yeah, for sure. Like I'm not
Oh,
super extremely strict with this.
yeah,
It's a
yeah.
direction that it goes into, and I try to be like 80% perfect. But when I'm out with friends and they're, I don't know, drinking a glass of wine, I'm joining, right?
Yeah.
I'm not this like super extreme person when it comes to anything.
Oh,
Um,
interesting.
yeah.
For me, I'm like, I have like an actual dedicated cheat day where I'm like,
Oh
this
wow.
is the day where I eat the pancakes, the burgers, the pizza, and I just go really.
Maybe I should do it like this too, because I still need to lose some weight and get into better
Yeah,
shape. Maybe I should become more strict about it.
that it's epic. I gotta say, like one dedicated cheat day, and you look forward to it. Like I used to do it once a month, and I'm like, let's go 6 more days till cheat day, and then I'm like, it sounds so fucked up. I have like a notepad on the phone that's called
Yeah.
cheat day, and in there I write down all the foods I'm gonna eat. I'm like, oh, lasagna, and I write down
You get
lasagna.
super excited for it.
Yeah, yeah, and then I make a list, and it's way more than I could eat in one freaking day.
Yeah.
But it's epic. And then sometimes I combine it with my girlfriend because she loves cooking. But I'm
Mhm.
like, she's like, what should I cook? And I'm like, well, steak and eggs and chicken. And she's like, I don't want to cook that shit. Like, I want to cook pasta and da da da. So I'm like, okay, baby, how about we do this? Like, I'm gonna do a cheat day, and you can cook all the pasta you want. And then she literally cooks like an oven plate full of pasta, and I just eat all of it. And she's like, I'm happy you like the food. And I'm like, yeah, let's go.
Funny. That's good.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. So listen, man, you're a freaking legend. I can see that, you definitely deserve 120% where you are right now. I can definitely see that there's no ending in sight for you. You're gonna crush it even more. You have all the right things in place. And plus you're a very, very down to earth guy, which is it's really, really rare. So I want to give you the props here as well. I'm happy that I know you. I'm happy that I got to know you here. I hope we can hang out in person next time. And anything else you have to mention here for the viewers, for the listeners?
Yeah, first of all, I appreciate the feedback and also the invitation to the podcast. It was good talking. And yeah, anything else? What's a good thing to end the podcast? Yeah, I guess like, no matter where you are in life right now, whether you're in a 9 to 5 working, whether you have your own business, just every day try to do your best. You have one life on this planet, and try to, in all areas of your life, give your best, optimize. Of course, not every day is going to be perfect, but try to make, I don't know, 20 out of 30 days of the month great, and make progress. And it's fun, the journey, when you build this momentum and come this positive, like, upward spiral. And everyone, I guess, can do it. Yeah. It doesn't have to need to become an entrepreneur, but yes.
Beautiful, man. Can't really can't get any better than that. Where can people find you? Your Instagram, website, anything you recommend?
Yeah, just Instagram, Niklas Pedde, same on YouTube, website niklaspedde.com. And yes.
Hell yeah. Check him out, folks. He's an absolute legendary main character. And thank you so much for listening. GG.